हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for your kind association. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Let us begin with our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. तस्यारविन्दनयनस्य पदारविन्दा किञ्जल्कमिश्रतुलसीमकरन्दवायुः अन्तर्गतस्वविवरेण चकार तेषां संक्षोभमक्षरजुषामपि चित्ततन्वो नेह यत्कर्मधर्माय न विरागाय कल्पते न तीर्थपदसेवायै जीवनपि मृतो हि सः प्रसङ्गमजरं पाशम् आत्मना कवयो विदु स एव साधुषु कृतो मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम् तितिक्षव कारुणिका सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ता साधवः साधुभूषणाः सतां प्रसङ्गान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायना कथा तज्जोषणादाशपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति हासं हरेरवनता किल लोकतीव्र शोकाश्रुसागरविशोषणमत्युदारम् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमाययास्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य मद्गुणाश्रुतिमात्रेण मयि सर्वगुहाशये मनोगतिरविच्छिन्ना यथा गङ्गाम्भसोऽम्बुदौ लक्षणं भक्तियोगस्य निर्गुणस्य युदारितम् अहैतुक्यव्यवहिता या भक्ति पुरुषोत्तमे सालोक्यसारष्टिसामीप्य सारूप्यैकत्वमप्युत दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति वीणामत्सेवनं जनाः यन्नामधेय श्रवणानुकीर्तनात् यत्प्रवलनाद् यत्स्मरणादपि क्वचित् श्वादोऽपि सद्य सवनाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नुदर्शनात् अहो बतश्व पचतो गरीयान् यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम् ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुवु सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्मानुचुर्नाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing our study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Canto 3, Chapter 27, entitled Understanding Material Nature, Text 26. Again, this is Srimad Bhagavatam 3.27.26. Bhagwan Kapil Dev is telling his mother, Shri Devahuti Devi, Evam vidyata tattvasya prakritirmai mana prakritirmai manasam yunjato napakuruta Atmaramasya karhichit. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The influence of material nature cannot harm an enlightened soul. Vidita Tattvasya. Vidita Tattvasya means one who knows. One who knows, one who is enlightened. Such a person is not affected by material nature. Even though he engages in material activities, because he knows the truth of the Absolute and his mind is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, one whose mind is fixed on Krishna, one who knows Krishna, is not affected. Such a person is not affected by material nature, even though the person may be engaged in material activities. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Lord Kapiladev says that Mai Manasam, Mai Manasam, a devotee whose mind is fixed on Krishna. Mai Manasam means one whose mind is fixed on me, Bhagavan Kapildev is saying. Such a person is called Atmaram or Vidita Tattva, one who knows the Supreme Tattva, Krishna Tattva. Atmaram means one who rejoices in the self or one who enjoys in the spiritual atmosphere. That person is called Atmaram. Further down, Srila Prabhupada says Atmaram means one who is fixed in spiritual activities in relationship with the Supreme Soul. That is Atmaram. One who is fixed in relationship with the Supreme Soul. Further down, this Atmaram position, how it can be attained, Srila Prabhupada is explaining. This Atmaram position can be attained by one who knows the truth as it is. The truth is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the enjoyer, and that the living entities are meant for his service and enjoyment. This truth we have to understand, that Krishna is the enjoyer, Bhoktaram Yagatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, and we are his servant. We are meant to be enjoyed by Krishna. In the next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada writes, an example may be cited in this connection. Just as a materialist engages in constructing a big skyscraper, a devotee engages in constructing a big temple for Vishnu. So, a materialistic person, my dear devotees, may be engaged in building a big house, a big building, even a skyscraper. And they may be very proud that, oh, look, I made this tower, I built this big building. They may be very proud. On the other hand, a devotee is always thinking, how can I build a temple for Krishna? How can I build a facility for Krishna and Krishna's devotees? Now, externally, both will go to realtor. Externally, both will take mortgage. Externally, both will earn money, raise funds. But Srila Prabhupada writes there's a big difference. One person is doing to satisfy himself or herself, whereas the devotee who is trying to build a temple for Krishna is doing it for the pleasure of Krishna and Krishna's devotees. So that is a difference in the consciousness. The materialist gets entangled in karma, whereas the spiritualist who is building it for Krishna becomes liberated by this act of service. 27. Yadaivam adhyatmarata kalena bahujanmana sarvatra jata vairagya brahma bhuvanan munihi. When a person thus engages in devotional service and self-realization for many, many years and births, he becomes completely reluctant to enjoy any one of the material planets, even up to the highest planet, which is known as Brahmalok. He becomes fully developed in consciousness. So, Bhagavan Kapildev is saying, when a person engages in Krishna consciousness and goes so deep in Krishna consciousness, becomes so devoted to Krishna consciousness that the person doesn't care about anything in the material world. not even the highest planet Brahmalok. See, we care about money, we care about property, we care about so many things in this material world. We care about a long life, we care about our retirement, we care about our savings, we care how our 401k is doing or our savings account is doing, how the market is doing, what the political situation is doing. We are always worried about these things, which means we are still quite in the material world. A person who is really Krishna conscious becomes so deeply involved in Krishna consciousness that the person is not affected by anything of this material world, whether it is a war, whether it is a global economic shutdown, whether it is a recession, whether it is the biggest disaster. The devotee is not affected. The devotee is fixed in consciousness of Krishna. The devotee is fixed on Krishna. So much so that the devotee doesn't even care about the highest attainment possible in this material world, that is to go to Brahmalok. That also the devotee doesn't bother. Such is the high level of consciousness. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says something very important. Please listen carefully. Anyone engaged in devotional service to Krishna is known as a devotee. Who is a devotee? Anyone who believes in Krishna, anyone who is trying to serve Krishna is a devotee. But there is a distinction between pure devotees and mixed devotees. Srila Prabhupada says there are many levels of devotees. Anybody who believes in Krishna wants to serve Krishna as a devotee, but there are mixed devotees and there are pure devotees. What is the difference? Further down, Srila Prabhupada says, in material existence, when a devotee is not completely purified, he expects material benefit from Krishna in the form of relief from material miseries. The devotee may be suffering from miseries and expects that Krishna will relieve my problems. Krishna will take away my miseries. Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik. Three types of miseries are there. Miseries caused by one's own body and mind, miseries caused by other living entities, and miseries caused by natural disasters. So, a devotee who is practicing mixed devotional service may expect that Krishna will solve my material miseries. Krishna will take care of my material miseries. Krishna will mitigate my material problems. Such a devotee is a mixed devotee. He expects material benefits from Krishna. Or he wants material gain, not just relief from suffering. He wants material gain. That hopefully I will get money. Hopefully I will get promotion. Hopefully I will get a salary raise. He expects all these things from Krishna. Further down, when a person is transcendental, transcendental means beyond. When a person is beyond these conditions, he is called a pure devotee. So simple, Prabhupada is saying. There are two types of devotees, mixed devotee and pure devotee. Mixed devotee performs bhakti but expects some material benefit, relief from suffering or gain of pleasure. He wants to gain pleasure or he wants relief from suffering. Two things. Both are material things. Whereas a pure devotee does not want any of these things, does not want relief from suffering, does not want material gains. He does not engage himself in the service of Lord Krishna for any material benefit. His one interest is that he loves Krishna and spontaneously engages in satisfying Krishna. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. A pure devotee only wants to make Krishna happy. Nothing for myself. I am doing it to make Krishna happy. That is a pure devotee. And then in the next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, the highest example of pure devotee are the gopis of Vrindavan. Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. Texts 28 and 29. Bhagavan Kapil Dev is saying, Mad Bhakta Pratibuddhartho Mat Prasadena Bhuyasa Nishreyasam Swasamsthanam Kaivalyakyam Mad Ashrayam Prapnoti Anjasa Dhira Swadrisha Chinna Samshaya Yadgatva na nivarteta yogilingat vinirgame. My devotee actually becomes self-realized by mat prasadena, by my unlimited causeless mercy. And thus, when freed from all doubts, he steadily progresses towards his destined abode, which is directly under the protection of my spiritual energy of unadulterated bliss. Yesterday we saw in Jaiva Dharma how the spiritual world is completely made of Vishuddha Sattva, Vasudeva. A devotee who is pure, who is self realized, progresses towards the Lord's abode. That is the ultimate perfectional goal of the living entity. What is the ultimate perfect goal for a devotee? To serve Krishna in the spiritual world. After giving up the present material body, the mystic devotee or the pure devotee goes to that transcendental abode and never comes back. Never comes back. Na nivarteta yogi. Doesn't come back. In the purport, little bit down, Srila Prabhupada writes, devotional service is revealed to the pure devotee by unlimited causeless mercy of the Lord. My dear friends, this we have to highlight in our heart in this verse. Mat prasadena. That our spiritual life will become perfect when we receive the mercy of Krishna. Without Krishna Prasad, without the mercy of Krishna, we cannot attain spiritual perfection. In material world, we don't pray for the mercy of the teacher. Oh, teacher, please give me mercy so that I can pass my university exams. The teacher who teaches throughout the semester perhaps has no role in the university exam. For example, if someone wants to get into medical school, they are preparing for the MCAT exam or TOEFL, GRE, SAT, any exam. In India, we have NEET, we have IIT entrance exam. We may go to a teacher and learn, but do we ever say, teacher, give me your mercy, give me one drop of mercy? Gurudev, Kripa Bindu diya. Today morning you were singing. Kripa Bindu. Give him one drop of mercy. Do we ever say like that? No. Because the teacher doesn't know what exam paper, what questions will be asked. Teacher has no control. But in spiritual world, it is different. In spiritual world, Krishna is always in control. In spiritual world, Krishna is going to test us, Krishna is going to judge us, and Krishna is going to pass us, or Krishna is going to fail us. It's all in Krishna's hands. Therefore, there is no place for kapatata. There is no place for hypocrisy and cheating in spiritual life. And it just so happens that this person who is going to test us, who is going to pass us, who is going to fail us, who is going to judge us, has us on his CCTV camera 24/7 with audio, visual, and also a EEG. What is going on inside the brain? Vishwanath Prabhu understands exactly. Hmm. It's not just what we are doing with our body, not just what we are speaking with our word, but what we are thinking in the heart. That actually no machine, medical equipment can tap into the thoughts of a person. Not yet. But Krishna knows everything. Vedaham samatitani. Vartamanani charjuna. Bhavishyami cha bhutani. Mam tu vedana kaschana. We don't know Krishna. Mam tu vedana kaschana. But Vedaham samatitani. But Krishna knows everything. Because sarvasya chaham riti sat. Now, for someone who is Krishna conscious, someone who is devoted to Krishna, someone who is working under the directions of Krishna, for such a person, such a devotee, this knowledge is very beautiful that Krishna is always watching me. But for someone who is not following the regulative principle, someone who is acting independently, ya shastravide utsrijya vartate kamakarata, na siddhim avapnoti, na sukham na param gatim. Such a person, when he hears this statement that Krishna knows everything, Krishna is watching me at all times, oh, it's very anxiety provoking. or sometimes even it is a source of great indignation. Why Krishna should pry into my private life? Why I have no privacy? There is no privacy. Forget Krishna. Even the Devatas know everything what we are doing. Sixth canto Srimad Bhagavad. So many witnesses are there. Yamraj says, I am a witness. Sun is the witness in the day. Moon is the witness at night. Air is the witness everywhere. There is Agni inside the body. Agni is a witness. So many witnesses are there. So best thing is that we understand this and try to live a life according to the instructions of the Dharma Shastras, Bhakti Shastras, the Holy Scriptures, according to the instructions of Shri Guru. So here Mat Prasadena. Everything happens by Krishna's mercy. Our sadhana is meant to attract Krishna's mercy. We chant so that we attract that mercy of Krishna. Second paragraph. Nishreyasa means the ultimate destination, Srila Prabhupada says. Now, what is this ultimate destination? Please just sit back and listen carefully. Very beautiful. I have put a star there. It's a very important thing Prabhupada is saying. The spiritual sky, which is known as Kaivalya, is simply blissful light on all sides. And it is under the protection of Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 14.27, Brahmanoi Pratishtha Aham. The impersonal Brahman effulgence rests on the body of Krishna, Supreme Person. In other words, the bodily effulgence of Krishna is Kaivalya. What is Kaivalya? Kaivalya means the bodily effulgence of Krishna. Now please listen carefully. In other words, Kaivalya is the impersonal Brahman, bodily effulgence of Krishna. In that impersonal effulgence, there are spiritual planets which are known as Vaikuntha. The chief among these Vaikuntha planets is Krishna's planet. Some devotees are elevated to the Vaikuntha planets and some are elevated to Krishna's planet. How this happens? Please listen carefully. According to the desire of the particular devotee, the devotee is offered a particular abode, which is known as Swa Samsthana, his desired destination. Swa Samsthana. In this verse, this word is used, Swa Samsthana. By the grace of Lord Krishna, the self-realized devotee engaged in devotional service understands his destination even while in the material body. What is Prabhupada saying? Those who are self-realized, those who are very, very advanced spiritually, they know their swarup in the spiritual world, even while present in this body. They know that I am a maid servant of Radharani, I am a Manjari, or I am a Gop Sakha, I am a friend of Krishna. They know. Even in this body, they know because of spiritual advancement. Prabhupada is saying. And it's all by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of Krishna, by the mercy of Krishna. See, I'll read again. By the grace of Lord Krishna, the self-realized devotee engaged in devotional service understands the destination where he is going, even while in the present body. He therefore performs his devotional activities steadily, without doubting. And after quitting his material body, he at once reaches the destination for which he has prepared himself. After reaching that abode, he never comes back to this material world. Hari Bol. Isn't this beautiful? So what are some take-homes from this? Please raise your hand. Key points from this. Satyarmadaji, don't look. You have heard. So now, based on what you heard, tell one key point that you understand from this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. First thing is whatever we have desired, that swasthana we will get in the spiritual planet.
So if you think of Ayodhya, you'll go to Ayodhya. You think of Golok Vrindam, all your life. I want to go to Golok Vrindam. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasa. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasa. Then we'll go to Vrindam. That's the first point. Very good. Thank you. Now Mukta Sangha Prabhu.
So always a pure devotee engages in service of Lord Krishna and tries to please him.
Yes. A pure devotee does not do devotional service for some material benefit. He does it, like Mukta Sangha Prabhu rightly said, for Krishna's pleasure. Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. Okay. What else we got from this paragraph? Yes. Anuradha Lila Mataji.
Hare Krishna, I just didn't know what I just repeat Krishna. So, without Krishna's mercy, we cannot achieve perfection. So only by Krishna's mercy.
Very important point. Repeatedly, it's there in the verse, and repeatedly Prabhupada is emphasizing that spiritual success comes from Krishna's mercy. We can never discount that fact. I will do this, I will do this, I will do that, and then I will do that. I will get that. That is true in material world. You study, you take the exams, you pass the exams, you clear the board certification, you become board certified. You become a licensed professional. That's material world. In spiritual world, you can never forget the mercy aspect. Everything we are doing, chanting 16 rounds, following four regulative principles, eating Krishna Prasad, associating with devotees, reading, hearing, serving, we are all doing this to attract the mercy of Krishna. We are all doing this to please Krishna. Because without Krishna's mercy, we cannot be successful. Success comes mat prasadena. This verse clearly says by Krishna's mercy. So that's very good. Yes. Kamala Gopika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In addition to other points, so self-realized pure devotee, even in this material world, while performing the devotional service, knew what is his destination.
Very nice. They know their swarup, their form in the spiritual world. Very nice. Ayendar Prabhu used to tell that I am such and such. Towards the end, he revealed his swarup. So very nice. Thank you. Janani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Assurance from the Lord that He will surely take us back to His abode.
Yes, and after reaching that abode, we never have to come back. That is also there. Very nice. Thank you, Janani Mataji. Shama Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavatanam. Prabhuji, I have a doubt, Prabhuji. This person who is self-realized when he is in this material body, is he called a Jivan Mukta, Prabhuji, or is it only for Jnani we call like that?
No, Jivan Mukta. Yes.
Okay. For Bhakta also he is a Jivan Mukta.
Yes.
Okay.
Ihayasya Harer Dasya. In fact, Jivan Mukta is for specifically for a devotee.
Okay.
One
Thank
who
you.
is a Haridas, serves Krishna. Karmana Manasa Gira. By body, mind, and words. That person is Jivan Mukta.
But Prabhupada sometimes says, na Prabhuji, a Jivan Mukta will fall down if he is not surrendered. That it mentions about a Jnani Jivan Mukta there.
Those are people who think they are Jivan Mukta.
Okay.
Manina. Ye Anya Arvindaksha Vimukta Manina. They consider that they are Jivan Mukta. Vimukta Manina. They think, but they are not. Tvayashta Bhavad Avi Shuddha Buddhaya. Their buddhi is not Shuddha. Their buddhi is not Vishuddha. Their buddhi is Avishuddha. Avishuddha Buddhaya. Therefore, Aruya Krachena Param Padantata Patanti Adha. Anadar Deshmadangraya. Because they don't have Adar for Krishna's lotus feet. Anadar Deshmadangraya. They fall down. They think I'm Mukta. But Jivan Mukta specifically refers to Ihayasya Harer Dasya Karmana Manasagira Nikhilayashava Avasthasu Jivan Mukta Sauchyate. It is for Haridas, who is Jivan Mukta, serving Krishna with body, mind, and words.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Jivan
Krishna.
Mukta specifically for devotees. The words Lingad, Vinirgame, which are used here, this is also very important. Please pay attention. Very important. The words Lingad, Vinirgame, which are used here mean after being freed from two kinds of material bodies. We have two types of material bodies, gross and subtle. The subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. Man, buddhi, ahankar, contaminated consciousness. The gross body is made up of pancha mahabhut, five elements, earth, water, fire, and ether. We have to give both up. Both are material. The gross body is material, the subtle body inside is also material. Now see what Prabhupada says. When one is transferred to the spiritual world, one gives up both the gross body and the subtle body of this material world. And the devotee enters the spiritual sky in his pure spiritual body and is stationed in one of the spiritual planets, Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Golok Vrindavan, depending on the desire and the bhajan and the mantra that the devotee has practiced. Text 30. Yadana yogo pachita sucheto maya susiddhasya vishajjatenga ananya hetush athame gati syat atyantiki yatra na mrityuhasa. When a perfect yogi's attention is no longer attracted to the byproducts of mystic powers, which are manifestations of the external energy, his progress towards me, Bhagavan Kapil Dev is saying, his progress towards me becomes unlimited, and thus the power of death cannot overcome him. Atyantiki yatra na mrityu hasa. Even the power of death cannot influence a pure devotee. But when a perfect yogi's attention is no longer attracted by the byproducts of mystic yoga, mayasu siddhasya, all the siddhis that come, they don't attract the attention of a pure devotee, then that devotee attains the highest destination. Purport. Yogis are generally attracted to the byproducts of mystic yogic power, for they can become smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, achieve anything they want. This is called Mahima, Laghima, Prapti, and other siddhis. There are 8 siddhis, Ashta Siddhi, 8 mystic perfections. Have power even to create a planet. They can even create a planet or bring anyone they like under their subjugation. Yogis can get all these powers. Now, further down, a devotee's attention is concentrated only upon the eternal loving service of Lord Krishna, and therefore the power of death also has no influence over such a devotee. So the devotee, when practices yoga, all these mystic siddhis might come to the devotee, but the devotee is not disturbed. Devotee is not distracted by these mystic siddhis. Devotee goes on serving Krishna, and then attains such an exalted state that the devotee is fully situated in the spiritual form, Swarup. And therefore there is no fear of death also. No fear of death. Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tohar. Nitya dasa prati tua adhikar. That happens. And that will happen only when the yogi gives up attachment to the byproducts. See, now everybody please look here. Please pay attention. All of us are trying to practice Bhakti Yoga. In any yoga, whether it is Dhyan Yoga, whether it is Gyan Yoga, whether it is Karma Yoga, whether it is Bhakti Yoga, in any yoga, in any upasana, spiritual practice, before we are given the final fruit of our upasana, we will be tested. Just like in schools and colleges, before we get the diploma or the degree, we are put through test. Which means as devotees, all of us will be tested. The test will be same what Draupadi went through, what Haridas Thakur went through, what Prahlad Maharaj went through, what Dhruv Maharaj went through, what the gopis went through. But the test will be according to our level of spiritual advancement. Something that we can handle. But yes, all of us will be tested. One test is, Prabhupada says, that some byproducts will be given to us. Byproducts of bhakti will be given to us. For example, we may be given comforts and luxuries. We may be given material success. And we may start thinking, oh, I'm getting all this because I'm a devotee. I remember one so foolish. I was in medical school. I was a new bhakta. I had started chanting 16 rounds. And I started chanting 16 rounds on Narsimha Chaturdashi, May 2002. And it was the final year, final MBBS. So surgery, medicine, and OBGYN. Those were the subjects. And I was very weak in OBGYN. I was not interested so much in OBGYN. And we had to, deliver babies and show how a baby is delivered and all that, how to hold the head of the baby, all those things in the Viva, in the practical interview. And I was very scared. And I had a friend with me. We both, our last name started with D, so we were always together. And he was somebody that I used to preach to, but he never, never listened. And somehow I became a 16 rounder. And, he used to always tell me, we're wrong path, wrong time. 16 rounds, 2 hours you're wasting in final MBBS. That much time can be used to study so much. And we used to have arguments. And I was telling him, but I'm not wasting time watching movie like you. So I used to argue like that. So anyway, I went for the Viva, and somehow by Krishna's mercy, my Viva went well. And I came out, and then we used to go together in a taxi because we were in the same exam hall. And then we used to come back to JJ Hospital from the exam center. This is the final university exam. So I had to wait for him because we used to ride together. So he finished his Viva and then the exam was over. And then we got in the cab and we were driving back. I still remember. And I put my hand in the bead bag and I started chanting. I asked him, so how was your Viva? He said, it was very bad. I think I'm going to flunk. I think I will fail. How was yours? I said, by Krishna's mercy, mine was good. He said, how 2 hours you're chanting and you go for all those Thursday classes and you go to temple on Sunday. How your Viva went good? I studied so much. And I looked at him very proudly and I said, "Tu bhi chanting karte, tera bhi acha hoga exam." I told him, "You also chant, then you will also get good marks." But now when I think that is such a wrong thing to say. We don't chant to get good marks, or we don't necessarily get good marks because we chant. We cannot equate a material success to be, we cannot understand material success to be the result of spiritual practice. If we consider material success to be a natural result of our spiritual practice, then when we do not get material success, which is bound to happen someday because we cannot win every time in the material world, when material success does not come, are we going to doubt the potency of our spiritual practice? Or are we going to doubt the validity of spiritual practice because we did not get a material result? So I feel I was very wrong in telling my friend that you also chant 16 rounds, you will also get good grades. No. Because it is possible that someone who is chanting 16 rounds does not clear the exams. Isn't it? It's possible. So therefore, we should not judge spiritual success in material terms. We should not think that this person became a millionaire because he's a devotee. है ना Mukta Sangha Prabhu? We should not think that Mukta Sangha Prabhu got promotion because he's chanting 16 rounds. That is very wrong. Because then in our mind, we are thinking that material success is a result of spiritual practice. And then what will happen is, subconsciously, we will have an expectation of material success because of spiritual activities. And that happens to be a namaprant. To consider chanting Hare Krishna to be auspicious ritualistic activity. fruitive activity, karma kand, or to not give up material desires in spite of hearing so many instructions on this subject matter. It can become a nama aparadha. So we have to be very careful that we don't very quickly attribute material success to sadhana bhakti. Is this point clear? Because this is one of the tests that we will have to go through. Krishna will give bhukti. And then the test is when the bhukti is taken away, which it will be because bhukti is temporary, are we going to look at Krishna and say, what's going on? Why? Why me? Why this? No. Material suffering will come, as Prahlad Maharaj says, naturally. Material happiness will come, as Prahlad Maharaj says, naturally. We don't have control over that. It comes according to our previous karma, according to prarabdha. Happiness and distress both will come of their own accord. We should not get disturbed. Lord Krishna says, Matra svarshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama payino anityam tam stitikshasva bharata. Both are anitya, they will come just like the seasons come. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. We have no control. Now summer is there in the northern hemisphere. Winter will come eventually. We have no control. Sheet Ushna. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. But we have to tolerate both. Titikshasva. So that is the point here, that all of us will be tested. The test may come in the form of bhukti mukti, and we have to, or siddhi, and we have to not get entangled, get distracted because of them. And this is a practical thing. All of us have to look at our own lives and see how much we are getting distracted or disturbed by changes in our material situation. This is for self-assessment. If some material problem comes, are we quick to look at Krishna and say, what's going on? Because material world, Krishna already said, no, it is dukkhalayama shashvatam, anityam asukham lokam, janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Very clear. Bhagavad Gita is very clear. Sufferings will come to everybody. Sufferings will come to devotee. Sufferings will come to non-devotee, both. Hari bol. But we have to rise above these sufferings. We have to tolerate and keep our focus on loving and serving Krishna, because that is the ultimate reality. Our experiences, good and bad, in this material world have nothing to do with the soul. Body and mind, gross body, subtle body, we just said, we have to leave it behind. What about the soul? We have to take care of the needs of the soul. And the soul wants to love Krishna. Jivera Swarup hai. Jivera, not Sharira Swarup, not Man Swarup. Jivera Swarup hai Krishna Nityadas. We have to love Krishna on the spiritual platform. So I will stop here and will continue from chapter 28, day after tomorrow, on Thursday. We'll take questions now, Shamchandra Prabhu and Shama Vallavi Mataji. Before we jump into the questions, one request I want to make. If one of you who is enrolled in Bhakti Vaibhava would like to do the service of putting notifications on the WhatsApp group, I will highly appreciate that. Ajay Govind Prabhu did for a long time, but he is busy now, so he will not be able to do it. So if one of you can take up that service, those who are enrolled, I don't want to take favors from anybody who is not enrolled in Bhakti Vaibhava, but somebody who is enrolled in Bhakti Vaibhava, if they can take the service of putting the notifications in the WhatsApp group, that will be very nice, so that when the class is there, everybody can join. When the class is cancelled, devotees know that it is cancelled. So I will appreciate. Thank you. Yes, Shamchandra Prabhu and then Shama Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Welcome back from Sadhu Sangha.
Thank you.
A nice association there, I heard.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I want to raise my hand for volunteering for the this thing, but announcements and all, but I think I just saw Satyarupamada also raised her hand, so maybe she can take up that seva. No
Okay.
issues. Prabhu, we discussed about this material success attributing to spiritual practices, and so my take, Prabhu, because based on certain experience, is that there are two bands actually. Like when somebody is in the beginning of the spiritual practice, he tends to sometimes attribute the cause for material success for spiritual practice, like chanting. Like as you rightly said that, your Viva went very well, and we all have experienced that.
Yeah.
Then a stage comes when we advance in our spiritual practices. We feel that for everything, the cause is actually the Lord Himself. And just to give an example, when somebody falls sick among the devotees, we all say, please chant one extra round for him. Let us all do some yagya for him, like Narsimha yagya in Mayapur and all that. And we do that with the intention. So can we attribute that, because of the spiritual practice, we are aspiring for material gain, including the body elements, or, somebody who's lost a job. And as a community, all the devotees, they pray for him so that he's restored back in his. So I feel that, there are two ways of understanding it. One is when one is the beginning of his spiritual journey, and then he's saying that I'm chanting this to get this, like promotion or get this better upliftment in material life. That is definitely a namaprad, because his goal of chanting is for something else. But when we advance in our spiritual practice and we understand that the entire life, that means whatever, we get success, whatever we are today, or whatever, even the failures or disease, they are all mercy of the Lord. So we feel that when the devotees congregate and they pray, then the Lord will listen, and then maybe some miracle will happen for that person. So the idea is not purely for material gain. The idea is that this person is restored back so that he can do the spiritual practice very well, because he's already a good devotee. And in that mood, the other devotees also pray for him. So that may not be a namaprad, because that basically we are thinking that, how this servant of yours, O Lord, has to be rescued for the, betterment for the entire, so the mood is different. So we accept the pain also, we accept the gain also as a mercy of the Lord. We cannot. So that is the real Krishna consciousness. I mean, for everything we are attributing it to Krishna. So that may not be a namaprad. Like if I'm chanting and in my mind I'm thinking of our Rajesh Rasraj Prabhu, let him recover fast from and get the. So that may not be a namaprad in my opinion, because I know that what pain he must be undergoing, and then what his family will be feeling and all that. So we have to support them. And who am I to support? So maybe I'm taking the help of Lord to cry and pray that please help this soul, restore back, his health or whatever. So this way, one can, I don't know, the two, it all depends upon the maturity of the sadhaka in spiritual practice, based on which we can fairly, decide whether this is for the sake of just passing the examination I'm chanting, or I'm just for promotion, or this is I've understood now what the real essence of life is, and then he's everything for me. For example, in my own personal experience, when I used to go for business meetings in the board of directors meetings, and I know that there's going to be a big squad waiting to fire me. I know, but I'll just chant in my mind, and I'll enter the room and everything will look so calm. I know in the Rome conference that Srila Sripad Maharaj, who did in 2004 on Origin of Life, where the Jewish scholar and the Islamic scholars, they were at virtually fighting across through words. And Shripad Maharaj came on the dais and he just sang Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramaka, Vasudeva Paravaka, that particular verse, and everything calmed down. Everything calmed down. So what we learn from such great souls is that when we are in trouble, to whom we'll go? Who else will knock the door? We have to knock the door of the Lord. He's giving us everything. So that may not be Namaprad. That mood of singing, in fact, the prayer and the cry of singing, that's bhakti in that sense. So maybe you can just, help to, refine this properly, what I've said, because I've given some idea, because sometimes there'll be misunderstanding. We are cultivating so many types of devotees across who are new bhaktas, and at the same time there are some practicing for a long time, but the mood will be different, and the outwardly it will look that everybody is doing for that purpose only, and I just thought I'll share my some
Yeah.
thoughts on that.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, I actually agree with everything you said. Every word you said, I agree. It will become Namaprad if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for personal material gain, for personal sense gratification. But when a devotee is going through difficulty, devotee is going through health crisis, and we apply the principle of Paradukha Dukhi, and we pray for them, then that is Vaishnava Seva, not Namaprad, it's Vaishnava Seva. And of course, the mood that we pray has been given to us by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, then please. So that if you so desire, Srila Prabhupada taught us to always include in our prayers when we pray for ourselves or we pray for others, because it reminds us that ultimately Krishna's sweet will, we have to bow down to it. Man proposes and Krishna disposes. So, what are the point you raised? There is no Namaprad if we pray for other devotees, or like you said, in the initial stages of bhakti, even if we pray for ourselves, even if for material things, akama sarva kamova, moksha kama udaradhi, tivrana bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param, Bhagavatam. Also Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, chaturvidha bhajante mam. So Krishna says 4 types, arti, artharto, jidnyasu, jnani cha bhartarshaba. And 2 of them are arti, one who is suffering, and artharthi, one who wants artha, one who wants wealth, one who is impoverished. So they are doing it for material, and that's a good beginning. Like you said, it's a good beginning. But as we progress in bhakti and we see the nature of this material world, that actually nobody is happy here. Even advanced devotees die in road accidents. Even pure brahmacharis who have never broken any regulative principles, who have eaten healthy Krishna Prasad, they also get cancer. We see it all the time around us. Pure devotees get stroke. Pure devotees get heart attack. Pure devotees like Srila Shripad Maharaj apparently become victims of terrorist attacks. This world, there is no end to suffering. And when a devotee sees this, then the devotee realizes that padam padam vipadam. This is the nature of this material world. And our only shelter is Krishna. Krishna's mercy may not be visible on the material plane, because on the material plane everybody is suffering. But Krishna's mercy is visible in the consciousness of the person. How do we know that I have received Krishna's mercy? I will know that I have received Krishna's mercy not necessarily by material success, by money or good health or good influence in the society, but I will know that I have received Krishna's mercy if my consciousness is pure. If my consciousness is like Kadamba Kanan Maharaj, where years before he got colon cancer, he would pray that, my dear Lord, I know there will be thorns on my path. As I walk barefoot on those thorns and get pricked and pierced by those sharp thorns. My only request is, let your holy name come forth from my mouth, and may I dance as I step on those thorns for your pleasure. Hari Bol. When this consciousness comes, then I will know that I have got mercy of Krishna. Not because I have become millionaire, or I live 100 years, or I have a million followers. I will know I got Krishna's mercy when my internal consciousness is Krishna conscious. When I love Krishna, when I love the devotees, when I don't envy anybody, when I don't feel lusty, that is when I will know that I have received Krishna's mercy. This realization comes as we progress. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, and then just since you mentioned about the terrorist attack on Sripad Maharaj,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking how the Lord was merciful in protecting Maharaj at that time through His grace, Bojadev Prabhu. So Bojadev Prabhu came in the way and he lost his eye, and only the splinters, of the terrorist, whatever grenades they had thrown, some splinters brushed past the arms. Maharaj had got some bruises and some flesh was, thrown out of the arm. But, the full protection was provided by the Lord to ensure that the devotee is fully protected. We could see that. And then, of course, we know how a few months after that, he entered into the Nitya Leela. But that was his desire to enter the Nitya Leela at that particular time, and he entered appropriately. So, we could see that Krishna clearly protects, if he wants to protect his pure devotee,
Yes, if Krishna wants.
Yeah.
Krishna wants. Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj passed away in a road accident.
Yeah.
So many accidents happen where devotees sometimes suddenly they depart this world. Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj very suddenly left us from COVID. So Krishna's mercy cannot always be understood on the physical plane or in terms of physical health. But Krishna's mercy has to be understood on a deeper level. That yes, when the pure devotee has to perform some seva, then Krishna may grant few more months, few more. Even in case of Prabhupada, Krishna granted. Many times Prabhupada's health deteriorated and devotees really prayed. Our Guru Maharaj has not finished his service yet. And Krishna would postpone. And but we have to understand that even if physically a devotee is not protected, like Jatayu was not physically protected, or Abhimanyu was not physically protected, but we can understand Krishna's mercy based on the level of consciousness. Abhimanyu was saying that how can I watch and stand and see Yudhishthir Maharaj captured? I would rather die. I would protect Yudhishthir Maharaj. That is what my father would want me to do. So in that consciousness, to protect a pure devotee, Dharmaraj Yudhishthir, Abhimanyu sacrificed his life. He knew that Jayadratha had a benediction, and he knew that it is possible my uncles will not be able to reach me inside the Chakravyuh and rescue me. I am going, but I may not be able to come out. He knew that possibility. Jatayu also knew that he is not going to survive against Ravan. It was a losing battle from the beginning, but he still gave it everything he had. So sometimes Krishna may protect physically, like in case of Srila Shripad Maharaj. And sometimes we may see that apparently the devotee died. Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj, everybody was praying, but Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj did not physically recover from COVID. But that doesn't mean that Krishna did not protect. Devotees wanted to go and do kirtan for Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, and that was not allowed by the hospital, Orlando Hospital. And Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj practically left this world alone in ICU room. And just a couple of nights, this nobody knows, I'm revealing it for the very first time. Couple of nights before Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj went to Golok Vrindavan, entered the Nitya Leela, being lovingly called by Srila Prabhupada. just a couple of nights before Maharaj's departure, His Holiness Jai Advait Swami Maharaj called me and he told me that, what do you think? I said, the situation looks very grave now. Kidneys have failed. Maharaj is requiring dialysis, also had a heart attack. He's still on the ventilator. It's a very grave situation. And we were also learning about COVID at that time because Maharaj left us during the first wave of COVID, summer of 2020. So I said, Maharaj, it's unpredictable, but it doesn't look good. People who are in similar medical situation, they die in the hospital. So I am very concerned. So then the doctors had declared that now nothing can be done. It's very, very bad situation. So then we got on a phone call, His Holiness Srila Jayadvait Swami Maharaj and myself. And we were thinking nobody can go in the ICU. If Maharaj has to depart, what do we do? And we decided that if there is no hope, we will get Maharaj discharged from the ICU. I will go to Orlando. I will keep Maharaj on the Ambu bag. I will ventilate him with the Ambu bag and will drive him from Orlando Hospital to the ISKCON Orlando Temple. And in front of Nitai Gaur Nataraj, we will start Kirtan with all the devotees. And then when the Kirtan is going on in the presence of Nitai Gaur Nataraj, in the presence of Srila Prabhupada, then we will extubate Maharaj. We'll remove the tube and let Maharaj return to the spiritual world. And that was also not possible. Maharaj left before anything like this could be done because there were logistical problems. Who is going to transport Maharaj? Maharaj is COVID positive. Who is going to transport Maharaj? Who is going to bring Maharaj? It was all very difficult. And before we could plan, Maharaj left. But that doesn't mean that Krishna did not protect, even though Maharaj was all alone in the ICU room. So sometimes Krishna's mercy may manifest that he may save the devotee like he saved Prahlad Maharaj, or sometimes we may see that the devotee physically is not protected like Jatayu or Abhimanyu. But Krishna's mercy can be sensed based on the consciousness of the devotee and how the devotee lived their life. Krishna's mercy can be seen through that. If someone was such a devoted soldier in the army of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then one can know that doesn't matter how the departure came materially, but this devotee is very blessed. This devotee went back to Godhead because of the quality of life they lived, the quality of their devotional service, and the quality of their consciousness up to events leading to their departure. So, yeah, thank you, Shamchandra Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nice, inspiring session for you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you so
never
much.
revealed this about my phone call with Srila Jayadvaita Maharaj to anybody except Radha.
It's really
I
nice.
don't know how it came out, but yeah. And then Maharaj asked me in the end, do you think you will be able to pull the tube out? And I said, I don't
Oh,
think so, Maharaj.
Krishna.
I don't think so. But anyway, Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai, Jai. Thank you,
Okay,
Prabhu.
so Shama Vallavi Mataji and Divya Mataji is very late, 9:36. I am also working tomorrow, so we can take the questions on Thursday. You hold your question, we'll take on Thursday. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai